Comic-Con kicks off with preview night this Wednesday, and some San Diego homeowners are ready to cash in on the big event. News 8's Abby Alford is live in the gas lamp tonight with the surge expected in short-term vacation rentals. Abby?
Barbara Lee, you can see that workers are still here into the night wrapping those buildings. Tours have been stopping, trying to capture any signs of Comic-Con. And you know, one of the things about Comic-Con is that it's a hard place to stay. You can find a room. Most of them are sold out. We found one that was listed for more than $1,000 a night. So you'll probably start seeing some new faces in your neighborhood. Airbnb says there's an uptick in bookings on its home share site. Transforming the gas lamp for Comic-Con, one of San Diego's largest events and one of the hardest places to find an affordable place to stay.
Home sharing, ensures that not only can more people come to San Diego during these big weekends, but it also means that, locals who are hosts themselves can, earn some supplemental income.
Airbnb says between Pride, Opening Day, and Comic-Con this week, 44,000 people will use its home sharing site. Mariella Faith and her husband own the company that does some of the building wraps during Comic-Con.
We're actually staying at an Airbnb a couple blocks away from here. We used to stay at the Marriott, but now that I have the two kids, it's kind of hard staying in a hotel room.
Airbnb says an average night stay is $141. We looked up hotel prices and found rooms that were available at the end of the week in downtown were $300 or more. That's why this Australia family are here earlier in the week. They like the convenience of a hotel.
Because the accommodation prices for the weekend were double the accommodation prices for early in the week, so we had to rearrange our time.
Short-term vacation rentals are a contentious issue in San Diego. A state bill regulating STVRs has been postponed. Last fall, San Diego City Council rescinded its vote to crack down on STVRs after Share San Diego submitted enough signatures to force a ballot referendum. Joanne Mell lives in the gas lamp.
Yes, we need to extend the convention center. We need to build way more hotels, and we need to really regulate the Airbnb.
Home share opponents say San Diegans need permanent housing so they can invest in the community. Airbnb says home hosts will make a total of $9 million this week. Comic-Con preview night is on Wednesday. The official kickoff is on Thursday and lasts until Sunday. We will have all of our Comic-Con coverage on our website at cbs8.com. Just click on the hot button. Back to you.
All right, Abby, thank you.